Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm really glad you could join us today because we're diving into some pretty profound stuff from our source material. Think about this for a second. If you were born just 200 years ago, high chances you wouldn't even be alive today. And here's the kicker. Almost every single moment you were conscious, it would have been just about basic survival. So our mission really for this deep dive is to try and unpack that. How did such a huge shift happen in, human life? What was it that took us from that constant hard fight for necessities to the world we know now with all its possibilities? We're pulling all this from excerpts of Technology's Gift, Longevity, and Liberated Living.
It is pretty striking, isn't it? You look at the grand sweep of human history, and this massive change, it happened, relatively speaking, almost overnight. For most of history, life was, well, short and incredibly hard. It was just this constant day in, day out fight against hunger, against disease, against, nature itself, just a struggle to make it through.
That really paints a picture. Millennia of just struggling. But then, like our source says, something changed. Something big. What was that something? What started to pull us out of that, according to the source?
Well, the authors of Technology's Gift really point towards technology. That's the key agent of change. But what's really insightful, I think, is how they frame it. It wasn't just one thing. It was sort of a dual impact. First, technology gave us more time, extended our lifespan, added years. And second, at the same time, it expanded what we could do with those years, the opportunities. It's this powerful kind of interplay between the two.
Okay, so let's break that down. Two main effects. When you say technology gave us additional years, what specific things does the source highlight there?
Right, the additional years. The source really zooms in on major medical and public health breakthroughs. These were the things that stopped or at least delayed diseases that used to just wipe out populations, whole cities. Think about large-scale clean water systems,
Yeah.
huge engineering feats. They pretty much knocked out diseases like cholera in many places.
Things we maybe take for granted now.
Exactly. Or understanding germs, microbiology, leading to antibiotics. That wasn't just curing one person. It reshaped, global health.
And vaccines, too, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Vaccines completely changed the story for so many childhood diseases. The text calls these basic wonders, which sounds simple, but their impact, it's almost impossible to overstate. They've given us decades. Decades our ancestors just couldn't have dreamed of.
Decades, yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge in itself. But like you said, it's not just about living longer, right?
Yeah.
The source really emphasizes that second part, how technology let us do more with the time.
Yes, precisely. And that's where you see this liberation of human potential starting to happen. Think about machines in farming, for instance. Mechanized agriculture. Suddenly, huge numbers of people didn't have to farm just to eat.
Right, it freed them up.
Massively. Or think about communication now. Instant, global. How much faster, complex projects or collaborations can happen.
Okay, I see.
The source has this really striking point. Something that might have taken a whole community weeks or even months to do now. Maybe one person or a small team can do it in a few hours.
Wow.
So survival stops being the thing that takes up every single moment. And that raises a really interesting question.
Which is?
Well, what does happen when survival isn't the main focus anymore? When that constant fight is lifted?
Yeah, that is the big question. What does the source suggest happens then?
The argument is that we unlock something fundamental, the freedom to chase more than just survival. We can pursue meaning, innovation, creativity, self-actualization, you might say.
So it's not just about having more free time.
No, it's more than that. It's having the mental space, the societal structures, the tools to explore, to create, to connect differently.
Yeah.
We can write books, like the source says, or, explore the oceans, experiment with ideas that shape the future.
It lets us aim higher.
Yes, exactly. To aspire for more, stretch further, as the text puts it. It's a fundamental shift in what being human can mean. Moving from just existing to actively, building and exploring.
It really drives home how thinking about this helps us see our own time differently. From just getting by to, well, all of this. It's a total transformation. It really does make you stop and think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the next time you, check messages on your phone or get on a plane or even just heat up food in a microwave, the source kind of nudges us to remember this context. You're living in a time where technology doesn't just keep you alive. It actually lets you experience life more completely, more deeply than ever before.
And, that leads to a really powerful follow-on thought if we connect it all up. If technology has freed us from that constant grind of survival and given us the time, the means to aspire for more, What does that freedom mean for us now? What new responsibilities, maybe, or possibilities, for us as individuals, maybe, or us as a whole society? Thinking about that big picture, what stands out to you about how this shift could or maybe should guide our choices going forward?
That's a great question to mull over, something to definitely think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you next time.